more.
What do the coins do? Oh, keys. What do the keys do?
Keys.
Tell me.
Yeah, that's like, I think we...
Yeah! There's the different emotions!
Those chow in the stands are going crazy. What are they pointing at?
Plural of
Is
chow
somebody hiding
is
over
chow.
there?
It,
It's that big guy again. I wonder if he knows where my froggy
I gotta find Froggy!
Chow.
Yay!
Disgusting creatures.
Oh, fuck you.
Zavok, this just keeps getting better and better. By better, I mean worse.
Hey, you're alive.
See with you, Eggman.
That was a question.
Ow! I'm totally shocked that he's here, and I totally didn't ask him to do a secret task for me.
Why would he do anything for you?
You might as well race on my team.
I hope Zavok likes losing.
Give Metal Sonic dialogue! Give my baby boy some lines!
Yeah.
I like buttons.
I want my baby boy's Metal Sonic! Please! I want it so bad. Kitty!
Kitty.
Yeah, I think Sonic is like the ultimate fucking example of like, I took the Genesis games, which literally didn't have a story at all,
Yeah.
and I went, hey look, there's 3 different kinds of levels. There's nature, there's ruins, and there's industrial. What does this say about the human condition? And it's like, even I'm like, that's fucking nonsense. But it's still something my brain went, images went into my brain, and my brain went, hey, this.
I shall be the master of these tracks.
Oh, you have a different voice actor too. I can tell.
That was kind of the thing that started this whole side quest, was you mentioned like, I think don't think in words, and you find
Yeah.
it difficult to express your thoughts.
Yeah.
I think in words,
Yeah.
and it's very easy for me to express my thoughts.
No, yeah,
Like, I feel
don't.
compelled to do that. And I was like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think in like, I don't even know. I don't have the words for it.
ASL.
It's something. It's not even like images, but like
Dolphin.
things go into my brain, and then my brain goes like, that's what this means. Like, I don't even know how to fucking describe it. Like, obviously I have to translate it into... It's so... like, again, like, I don't think in words isn't even fucking accurate.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I communicate
Yeah, I mean, you speak a
to
language.
myself.
Yeah.
I have to communicate to myself.
Well, it's sort of like programming languages where, you know, there's like assembly code which is right on the metal, like you are changing registers right on the metal. Then there's C above that. Then there's like C#, and then there are like Python and JavaScript, all these languages that are way, way above that. That are like, you have to translate...
So fucking, like, abstract and inarticulate.
Where C, you translate directly into machine code. Whereas JavaScript goes down all those layers and then hits the bare metal. You think more in those upper echelon, like, very strongly typed programming languages,
Yeah.
not like right to the metal.
Or like a different vibe.
Or maybe
if you
the
want
opposite
if you
of
want to
what I
go
wanted
like
to say.
with the Road Runs with you like that's a fun example, because like you didn't even get into like the deeper like unlocks. You just watched the story and it still appealed to you about it. But like one of the things about that story is like there's different vibes of reality. And people on higher vibes can see and interact with people on lower vibes, but not the other way around. So, like, all the main characters are playing the Reaper's game because they're all dead, so they're existing on a higher vibe of whatever the word they used is, vibe or tone, something like that, of reality than people who are alive. So they're getting closer and closer to, like, the source code of reality.
Right.
But, like, getting closer doesn't mean you can see it. So then you get to, like, the conductor and the composer, who are purely ethereal beings who don't even have a physical manifestation.
And they're twink.
How's my game? They're purely exist on a level of metaphysical and don't even like see like they're creating the physical reality, but they don't even. It's so far beneath them they don't even see it.
Yeah.
So like I'm closer to like I don't think of it in terms of the physical part. I'm one of the Reapers. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think like I went with a pop cultural example. I think your example is much keener.
I also agree that mine is better. Just all the time.
You put it in a general example, and I looked over there and I saw Mr. Mew.
Get him, Piggy.
That's one of the things I like about The World Ends With You, is like that concept of there's layers of reality.
Yeah.
And like this, there's like there's the source code, and then there's interacting with the programs.
Right. Yeah, that's a good analogy for the thing that we were talking about.
Fuck.
That like you said, that thoughts, the thing you think has to be translated into language.
It still has to come out as words.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's like, where I'll be like, oh, that like I just made fun of the characters. Like, yeah, that's it. There's literally times, like even in those Sonic videos, where I'm like, oh shit, I just realized a thought that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized how to express it.
Right. And I'm the exact
I just
opposite.
put something together.
Yeah, expressing myself is the one thing that I've always been able to do. Like, no matter what, even
Yeah,
if
you're really even like in more basic ways. Like, you're really fucking good at coming up with names. I'm terrible at coming up with names for characters, albums. Like, every time you name an album, I'm like, that's a fucking awesome name. And you tell me like sometimes you'll come up with the name first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucked up.
The first thing I do is come up with a title. I love fucking naming things. Love that shit. I come up with
I mean, that's
titles
like
all
the
the time and put
simplest
them in a text
example
file.
of it. Is
Yeah.
I'm suck at coming up with the names.
Yeah, it's like, no matter what, even when I was really, really young, I could always express myself. Like, I've never... I can't relate to, like, having an issue.
What am I
expressing
trying
myself.
to say?
Yeah, like I always.
That's-
Sometimes what I'm thinking is stupid as fuck, and I'm expressing it properly, but it's just dumb. Or it's like, but that's why I've always loved writing and
Yeah,
language.
there's a
and
seamless
stuff like that.
track from brain
Yeah.
to mouth.
Yeah,
For me, there's like a lot of switching stations.
Did you at least
I gotta take the L train down. To...
Yeah. The conch?
No, it has eluded me. It is clearly kept in an unknown location.
Why are you working with him? Didn't he enslave your entire race? Also, are you alive? Because it kind of seemed like you died. And you weren't in Sonic Forces.
Yeah, so we couldn't help but think.
I kind of assumed you died.
These races are beginning to take their toll.
Can I fuck you?
Yeah, I don't know how long this game is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we doing the whole thing? Before we started, I was like, are we doing the whole thing or just?
I
Like
figured I'd be doing a whole because I didn't think it'd be that long.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I want to use this because I have so fucking many.
I just know like two
This one.
things
Well,
that are absolutely certain about me is
You
my
want to
ma-
fuck Rouge.
Oh yes, yes, and Sonic.
this race is
Oh, I
getting
get
more
doing
and
this.
more brutal. I'm exhausted.
Ooh.
They brought in Zavok and upped the ante. We need to make our move.
Say bot in Zava?
Move. We don't have any moves yet.
Sonic's just happy to be here.
They're just having fun racing.
We still don't know what they want from us, or what their endgame is. We don't even know who the bad guy is in all this.
It's always Eggman. It's just a matter of who else is involved.
Is Chaos involved this time?
Crazy.
Is he gonna get supplanted?
I'm going to need a vacation after all this.
Yeah, what a fucking, like, just take the three hedgehogs. They're all the same, but they're all different. Sonic's just happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm having
Shadow's
fun.
just happy to be here. Silver's just happy to be here, but Sonic is, like, so confident. He's like, obviously we're gonna fucking win, so why even worry about
Yeah,
it?
don't even think about it.
Shadow's like, I'm here to win. I'm going to beat the bad guy. That is the reason we're here. But also, like, fuck you, Sonic. Like that, like getting very, very engaged with the conflict, and there Silver is just like,
Yay!
yeah,
Waste time.
races.
With
Don't
my
you think you guys
buddies.
should stop caring about like? I mean, this is fun.
Yeah,
This
waste
is-
with my friends.
Yeah. What's happening? I feel like something's happening, but I
Yeah.
don't know what. None of them know what the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
and to minor degrees, they care less than others.
Yeah.
And then you got the fucking the motherfuckers are on top of business. You got fucking Tails, Vector,
Yeah.
Rouge, and I guess Omochao, who are like keeping a handle on the fucking situation.
Yeah.
And then you got just the muscle, Big Knuckles, what the fuck, Blaze, and Omega. They're just here to bust some heads. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Stay focused,
Knuckles
team.
never gives a
We got
fuckles.
this.
That like holy fuckles. It is
It's
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, two things
That you know about yourself.
that I know about myself are, number one, even a phrase I like to use, single-digit age. I had no problem expressing myself.
Yeah, it's all just kind of a blend.
Yeah, and also, from my very earliest memories, my imagination is out of control.
Yeah.
Out of control.
I mean, I'm the same way with that too.
Yeah.
Probably in a very different way from you, but
Because to go on another tangent, hopefully I'll try to keep
God
it short.
fucking damn it!
There's a book that I've read a bunch of papers by this guy, but I have his book by the American Psychological Association Press. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's about dreams,
Oh yeah,
and he just kind of,
how dreams are just garbage.
Yeah, where he
brain
was like,
thought garbage.
yeah, aside from, like, he was sort of the first, well, not the first person, but he's made a lot of headway in studying dreams scientifically, not necessarily trying to analyze dreams like from a
Yeah,
psychological
like what do
perspective.
dreams mean? It
Yeah.
means you want to fuck your mom
Yeah,
or weird shit like that.
yeah.
What do dreams mean? Because your brain is coming up with the dream. So what is the dream telling us about your brain?
Yeah,
Which is traditionally the way people analyze dreams.
yeah. But it was his. He sort of was like, and I'm sure it's not true that he's the first person.
Probably like
scientifically.
the grandfather.
Yeah, like it's
The
relatively
pioneer.
recent. Yeah, pioneer's a good word for it. Where it's just like, no, seriously, let's study dreams. Let's put people in the fMRIs.
Yeah, let's look at the brain when it's dreaming.
Yeah, and let's have people.
Which is very different from
Give-
what has been done.
Yeah, give a narrative report of what happened. Well, what are your dreams? Like, tell me what you dreamt about last night. Collect these stories, analyze it like real scientific medical shit.
Yeah.
And
Scientific process.
yeah. And he talks about
why are my teammates just slumming
They are
it?
really
Jesus
sucking.
Christ. Omega.
sucking hard.
I want my team in Sonic Racing to drop me into my grave so they can let me down one last time.
One of the
Real
things,
scientific shit.
Yeah, one of the more interesting things that has come out of it in the past couple of years, maybe like the last decade or two, is, you know, people always ask. They went into it with a question of like, why are dreams so weird?
Yes.
And they were
that is
sort
a
of-
good question.
They were sort of forced to admit, after they did a lot of research,
We don't fucking
dreams.
know.
Well, no, dreams are no weirder than waking thought.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, it's just
there's
sort of,
just no like awareness.
Yeah.
Or intentionality.
It's like when you're not doing anything else when you're sleeping, you just pay more attention to it. But the same sort of dream shit, and then that led to a lot of like psychotic disorders like schizophrenia. Wow, that's an entirely different subject.
I
an
meance that's
entirely
another
different
thing you're
time.
very interested in, is
Yeah.
schizophrenia. Which is a part of the reason Night in the Woods
Yeah,
stuck with you.
yeah, exactly.
Because it like hit on a
It tickled
psychological. Yeah, it that's one of the things that like something gets you is like it pushes a button.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say there was an entire paper written about this that I read that was interesting. That a lot of psychotic disorders, especially schizophrenia, in a way is like REM dream imagery
In real when
working
you're
its
awake.
way into lucidity, because you know, a lot of hallucinations and schizophrenic, you know, psychotic hallucinations behave very similar to dreams, have like very similar quote-unquote logic to dreams and all this different stuff.
Nightmare logic.
Yeah, and it's very preliminary. Like it's a kind of a new way of looking
damn
at
it,
it.
Omega.
Jesus Christ!
Fuck you.
Should have been eliminated. But anyway,
I have to
part of
replay
that,
that.
part of that is they were saying like most of the children that they involved in this study. Wow.
I'm upset.
Wow, Omega. Fuck me.
Oh,
You're not
there's
big. You're the
gonna
opposite
be
of big.
a cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
Events are unfolding beautifully. The race is
I want to see your
heating up,
tail.
and I am getting
I wanna see your
everything I could have hoped for, and more.
Take the hat off.
My plans
take off the
always go off without a hitch.
That's looking at me.
Are you a pre-existing character?
Yeah.
Or are you new?
Good question.
Are you new? Or oh shit. Or are you a pre-existing character?
Yeah.
Preliminary.
Oh yeah.
Time to race.
One of the things the children that they involved in this study, they were sort of like, they're kind of like doing this myth busting thing about dreams and
Yeah.
saying like people think dreams are so bizarre and
People
so
think
fantastic
dreams
and blah, blah, blah.
matter. They don't.
But they're like most dreams, from what the research that we've done and the dream data that we've collected, like the narratives that people give after they wake up, they write down like this was my dream, and they collected those and analyzed them and said most of them are mundane as fuck.
Yeah.
Like it's actually just normal shit, especially children. They said, you know, from ages like
Yeah, I mean
4 to 9, children dream of immensely mundane things.
I mean everyone has a dream where it's like, oh, I'm back in school.
Yeah. Or just like
the most normal
shit.
thing. I'm dreaming of my day-to-day life when
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
asleep.
Exactly. Exact opposite for me. When I was a kid, and I recorded like 3 hours.
Well,
to make
you're
a video
really into
about
dreams.
this.
You like
Yes.
kept a dream journal, which a lot of dream research that I've looked into talks about how like in order to, because I don't remember my dreams. Like the instant I wake up, I forget 90% of what I dreamed about, unless it was like so impactful,
Right.
or
you woke up from it.
I woke up and I really started to think about it and
Right.
like to retain the memory of what the dream was.
Right.
But like a lot of the research I've done, it's like if you want to remember your dreams, you need to keep a dream journal.
Yeah,
you need
exactly.
to like really like invest the front of your brain
Yeah.
into recalling your dream.
Yeah.
And that leads to lucid dreaming.
Yeah, exactly. Because the part, like when you're asleep and when you're dreaming, part of your like the process of that is your brain doesn't produce a certain neurochemical. I can't remember what it's called, but it's some chemical that assists in transferring short-term memories to long-term ones. So when you wake up, you remember all your dreams, but if you don't write them down,
They're gone.
They don't get stored in long-term memory. Most of them,
Yeah,
anyway.
they
like
disappear
99%.
immediately, and that's what it's like for me.
Exactly. So you have to write it down, and that the process of doing so. Now that you're awake, and
It
your
trains you.
brain is
It's one of those
producing
things. It trains your brain.
Yeah.
To like do that.
Yeah.
Just like muscle memory.
Yeah, just much like in the way that when you're asleep, you're essentially paralyzed, so that you don't act out your dreams and walk around and shit. It's the same
sleep paralysis demons.
Please don't sleep.
I'm sorry. No, yeah, your whole build-up is like that's not how you dream. You
Well, I
dream.
mean-
you don't dream of mundane shit.
Well, my point is, it's sort of like that. You know, your brain doesn't produce a certain. It doesn't really form long-term memories. It forms short-term, and it doesn't make the transference. So that when you wake up, you have to write them down, and in the process, you like sort of redo that process so that it gets transferred to long-term memory. Blah blah blah. But
You're saying like
exact
complete opposite for you.
total opposite for me. When I was a kid, first of all,
We'll never lose our time.
I have this feeling like.
Oh shit.
Well, when I was a kid, I had some of the most vivid, bizarre, utterly
Nightmares.
strange. Yeah, and not just nightmares. I mean, I had recurring, like, awful fucking nightmares when I was a kid. Up until I was around 11,
Yeah.
because when I was around 11, that's when I started. Hey! That's when I started writing,
Anybody need help?
and suddenly it was
And
like,
then it went away.
It went away immediately.
That is so, like, I remember when you first told me about this, and I was like, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know about other people who've had that experience.
Right.
Like, I know, like, I've seen a movie about it, where it's like, someone had really fucked up nightmares, and he would draw them. He would draw the nightmares, and, like, that became a therapeutic thing. And like, it helped him stop having nightmares.
Right.
Drawing the nightmares made them go away.
For me, it was like, once I had an outlet for my imagination, then suddenly I stopped having nightmares. And I mean, I used to have them constantly as a kid. Fucked up things that still, like, bother me to this day. You know, I'm 27, and I had these nightmares when I was, like, 3. Still to this day, I cannot get out of my head. That it would scare the fucking shit out of me. And when I was a kid, in general, my imagination was fucking crazy. I used to see shit and hear shit all the time. Like,
Borderline
schizophrenic. If it happened today, I'd be on antipsychotic medication.
I mean, like we're over the hump.
Exactly.
Generally, people start developing the serious schizophrenic symptoms after they become an adult, right?
Yeah, it's like for females, it's early mid-20s. For males, it's late teens or early 20s.
So
yeah, we're
like,
past that big hump. Although it can happen in childhood and, you know, blah blah blah. But yeah, thankfully we're over that. But I mean, like, my imagination was my absolute worst enemy when I was a kid, because it just invented all sorts of scary shit and nightmares.
I think I fucked that up.
And everything like that.
Yep.
Gotta
do it again.
Once I had an outlet for my imagination, a creative outlet, I started writing. I started making movies with my stuffed animals and shit like that. Immediately, that went away. And then it's not like immediately. It tapered off, and then it'd have once in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't had a nightmare in 15 years.
Your brain was tired.
Yeah, I had an outlet for that.
It didn't have to use your unconscious time.
But the thing I was going to say initially, when I was a kid, even, like, forgetting the nightmares, even just my normal, quote-unquote, normal dreams were so goddamn vivid. I mean, I can picture them to this day. And I'm talking, like, when I'm 3, 4 years old. So vivid and strange and bizarre, and just, to me, it feels like I touched, that was like the core of my creativity. You know what I mean? And, like, ever since then, I kind of, like, you know, as I grew up, I moved away from that, layers got put on top of it.
Yeah.
And now I still use my creativity, but I feel like those dreams I had as a kid were, I just, like, touched the very core, the hot core.
You brushed against the dividing line between your physical reality and your pure thoughts.
Because, I mean, exactly. Because, I mean, what the fuck? I can think of dreams that I had when I was 4 years old that's like, what the hell was that? Why would a kid dream that? And it's not like, oh, it was... It's not like,
I'm gonna restart just to be on safe side. Keep going.
It's not like, oh, it was fucked up, like, people got their heads hacked off.
Yeah, no, like, not even that specific.
Not like an adult theme. It just is like, what the fuck was a kid's brain doing thinking of this stuff totally subconsciously? You know, I can just remember so many dreams I had were so... No piece of art will ever top them for me, for just, like, particular expression. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I have never, and I prolifically dream bizarre, vivid, unique, strange, creative dreams, but never anything like when I was that young. You know what I mean? And I guess that kind of thing stopped around the same time. I guess, you know, it was just...
I need to take my hand off of the X button.
Just skipping things. I mean, when I was really young, 3, 4, 5, man, my dreams just touched the red-hot fucking core of my forming, like, nougaty center, my creative center
the essence
of my brain. And ever since then, it's gotten, like, more and more distant from that, and now I'm just, like, an eccentric human being, but still a human, whereas, like, that has always fascinated me. And now, like I said...
You might like some of the things that some of H.P. Lovecraft's fiction is based around the concept of I mean, like, you're probably too secularly minded to, like, engage with it on the level that he meant. But
Yeah.
a lot of his fiction contextualized dreams as an actual reality, just not the reality we live in physically when we're awake.
Right.
But it's just as real.
Yeah.
It's just as, like, it has just as much value.
Right.
And the things that happen in dreams, it's still happening, just not, like, to anything we can see and touch and look at.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I loved Inception. Absolutely loved that movie. Because, I mean, it is true. I've always been just, like, uber fascinated by dreams and talking about them.
Psychology,
and
to a degree.
Yeah. And again, not as some kind of weird oogie boogie thing of like,
Yeah,
ooh, it's
exactly.
precognition
Like
or...
again, like H.P. Lovecraft, like looked at it as a horror
Yeah.
analog. But like the core idea of like dreams aren't just dreams,
Right, yeah.
is still probably something that
Yeah, absolutely.
touches on that.
Yeah. And like not as precognition or something stupid, but
Yeah,
also not
exactly.
as like a visitation from
Yeah,
you know,
our brains are passing into an
Exactly.
alternate dimension
Not
as we're
even-
sleeping or something like that.
Yeah, not even bullshit Freudian stuff of
Yeah.
like, oh, you smoked a cigarette, that means this. I mean, it
That
means
means you
a
wanna
different thing
suck
to
a
every...
dick.
Yeah. It means dreams couldn't be more personal. Everything means something. It means what it means to that person.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't-
literally happening in your brain.
There's no
There's no
universal
set. Yeah,
dream
exactly.
dream dictionary.
Yeah. I mean, there's no symbolism that's cross-dream. I mean, you know, cross-brain. That doesn't make any sense.
Because like there's in Japan there is a cultural thing which is like New Year's dreams.
Yeah.
When you have a dream on the New Year, like the dream, like there's a dream dictionary which is like here's what the dream means for the rest of the year, and it's like the thought that like maybe because your society and your culture and your friends and family are all telling you you're supposed to have a dream about something on
Yeah.
New Year is the reason, and you know what the symbols are, is the reason you're having that dream.
I mean, I have a dream all the time about jellyfish. Like, because I have specific memories associated with them, and I kind of...
There's no, like,
know,
universal,
blah, blah,
like,
blah.
here's what jellyfish mean.
Exactly.
Like, no, I
jellyfish-
had an interaction with the jellyfish
They're
as a
not-
child, and here's what that interaction
It's not
meant.
the concept of jellyfish. It's every time I see a jellyfish in a dream, it's a very specific type that I used to see in Ocean City, Maryland, because that's where we used to go sometimes. So that, you know, blah blah blah. But it is an extension. I think that may be why I'm so interested in dreams, because again, I still have like dreams are just another world to me. Like I cannot relate.
Not literally,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
it's a peek through a window.
exactly. I can't, and my mother's the same way. And I just can't. She's the same way as you, where she says like, I just don't remember.
I don't remember a
And
single fucking thing. The instant I wake up, it's all gone, unless I'm very much like, that was really fucking cool, I'm gonna
Right.
think about it and try and hold on to it. But
Yeah.
even then, I couldn't tell you what I dreamed about last night.
Right.
Let alone dreams I really liked.
Yeah, I can't relate to that at all. For me, even now, you know, like I said, I still have just bizarre, intricate, you know, dream is just a totally other world. And in fact, I've had dream me has memories that real me doesn't. Like I had a dream once where my grandmother and I were under this bridge collecting rocks for some reason in
this one's
these
weird.
little cups.
This map is fucked up. Now that I'm actually looking at it.
Now that you're looking at it. And like 3 years later, I had another dream with my grandmother in it, and she was like, remember when we used to go down and collect rocks under that bridge? Which we never did in real life. We didn't do anything like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
and when I woke up, I was like, and I did, in the dream, remember that past dream as if it really happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your dream... In that dream, your memory of the previous dream was a physical thing that
Exactly.
happened.
Like it was a real memory. And when I woke up, I was like, that was fucked up.
That sort of reminds me of Your Name.
Yeah.
Where, like, they swap the bodies, but they contextualize it as dreaming.
Yeah.
And their dream is living out this other person's life in a different place and time as a different person.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference is it's actually happening.
Yeah.
But
'Cause it's an
the
anime.
the character still... Like, at one point, her grandma goes, "Oh, are you dreaming right now?" to the daughter when to the female character when the male character is in her body, living her life.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's something that's happening, but it's not happening to that person when they wake up.
Yeah, exactly. I'll never forget that. I'm like, dream me.
So, like,
and
imagine
really
the
have officially become separate people.
Imagine the concept of your dream grandma being like, so when you wake up, tell your other
I've had
self,
that too.
remember this.
Yeah, I've had
so
that
that you
happen
can
too.
know, so that your awake person will know.
Yeah, I've had dreams. That's bizarre that you mentioned that. I've had dreams, and I just had one recently where I actually went, oh, when I wake up, I'll have to write that down or something like that.
That's fucked.
It really is. It's like scary.
That's like the most horrifying thing I've
I
ever
know,
fucking
right?
heard in my life.
I forget what it was, but I'm like, oh yeah, when I
That
wake
is
up,
very
I'll do that.
Lovecraftian, actually, straight up. Like,
oh.
not even Cthulhu, like, a lot of his literature is based around the reality of the dreaming world.
Right.
That's a lot of Bloodborne, which is inspired. That's how you know Bloodborne really, the people who made Bloodborne really fucking liked H.P. Lovecraft, because they pulled the dream shit, and no one knows about the dream shit. No one
They
gives
know
a
about Cthulhu,
shit.
and that's it.
Everyone likes Cthulhu.
Yeah.
No one knows about the dream shit. So, like, they did shit where, like, one character's like, you still have dreams, right? Tell the little doll I said hello. And you're like, imagine if someone you met in real life went, hey, when you're asleep tonight and you're having that dream, tell that character, like, the character of your grandma within your dream, that. Imagine if they fucking, like, they're someone that you meet in reality when you're awake.
Yep.
Tells you that.
That would be fucking horrible.
Would that not, like, that is the kind of psychological, like, obviously, like, he actually thought that it was another dimension, which
a
is
religious
which
thing.
is stupid.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of horror, that kind of creeping, like, skin crawling up your back horror of someone awake knows the dreams that you're having,
and
because the dream is real.
I had half of that. I had my dream self, and maybe someone else in the dream. I can't remember it exactly now. But the phrase, "Hey, when I wake up," and I thought it, and that didn't wake me up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I've had lucid dreams, but this wasn't a lucid
Sexy
dream. This was my
ones.
dream. Yes, I've had lucid dreams. This was not lucid. It was my dream self.
Yeah,
saying,
your dream
"Hey, when I wake up,
seemed cognizant
it articulated
of
itself.
the fact that it was a dream.
Yeah.
And that's another, like, that's like a Twilight Zone. Well, I don't think it was literally a Twilight Zone. Well, you could tell me. I think it might have been something that was like a pastiche of Twilight Zone, where someone is waiting in a line and talking to the other people who are in line, and they're just in a formless space with a ticking clock in the background, and at some point, one of the people that he's in line with mentions, like, oh, we're all just in a dream. We're dream people, we're living in someone's dream right now, and when we wake up, we're going to die. And then the main character realizes, oh shit, I'm the person having the dream. You're all the characters in my dream that I'm having right now. And the other characters go like, don't wake up!
Yes.
Don't wake up, I wanna live! Don't kill me by waking up. And then the ticking clock was the alarm clock, and the end of the episode is the alarm clock ringing. And the screen, like, goes blank.
I like that.
Yeah. Sort of the same kind of like, there's so many different, like, horror,
I mean,
but like not even horror, just like psychofuck concepts you can
I-
have with dreams.
Speaking of psychopath, I had a dream very similar to that. I had a dream, no joke.
But like it's sort of the opposite, because your dream self didn't go like, oh, when you wake up I won't exist anymore. Your dreams have developed a continuity.
Exactly. I had a dream where I auditioned for and got a part in someone else's nightmare.
That's really interesting.
And then we did the nightmare. We performed it for this guy. I
That's
wrote a song
fucked
about it.
up.
The song is called Everyone's Dying, because that's what he said in the dream. We performed it.
So that's like a story.
Yeah. We performed it, and I remember I got a part, and we went through it, And I remember thinking, this must be really
I'm
loaded
victim
with
A.
symbolism and stuff.
Yeah,
this means a lot
yeah.
to him, but I don't know what the hell all this means. I'm just
Yeah,
playing
you
my
didn't
part
write
in the
it.
dream.
You're reading your lines off the script.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm doing my part. I forget, we as a group were doing something. There were a lot of people.
That's literally a story. You should write that.
Yeah.
You should write that down.
That was the night before I was going in for a root canal. I remember that. I woke
Symbolism.
up. Yeah, I woke up because
Someone else's nightmare.
the last thing.
That's like that could be the title. Someone else's nightmare.
The last thing he said in the dream was everyone, quote unquote, everyone's dying. And so I woke up and grabbed my phone and typed "everyone's dying" because I knew I would remember.
You had to
that.
remember it.
Yeah, and then I went back to sleep and I remember like almost every detail of that dream. And it just affected me so much. I wrote a fucking song about it.
So,
but I was just like, that's fucked.
That's a really
That is
interesting
meta.
idea.
Yeah, I was like, that's the most interesting dream I've ever had conceptually.
The idea of in your dream,
Mm-hmm.
your dream self auditioned
Yeah.
to be in someone else's dream.
And in the Lovecraftian thing, what if it actually was someone's nightmare that we?
Yeah, you don't know. Like
had?
it's like your mammal, your scientific brain.
Yeah.
is like that's literally not possible.
Yeah,
but
what if
the horror, the Lovecraftian concept is you literally went into his dream was a physical location that you visited and you were there.
And
You were in the backstage.
Yeah, I could meet somebody and let's say, and we'll start talking about dreams, and they're like, "Man, I had this one nightmare with all these people, and I said everyone's dying." And I'm like,
Wouldn't
what?
that blow your mind, though?
would-
And it'd probably just be a complete coincidence.
I would shit out organs. I would shit out organs.
And it might seem that this has no relation to Sonic, but keep in mind that
You'd be
Silver's theme song is called Dreams of Absolution.
All right, now that we've tied it back in,
So there you go.
oh my god,
I'm gonna play as Silver now,
such
due to that notion.
wow.